Right, I think we'll get started. So just to introduce myself to everyone in case you're just joining, my name's Dr. Mo. I'm the co-founder of FireMedics, and I'm also a National Health Service GP and also a part of the NHS Clinical Entrepreneur Programme. And we are officially opening the Batch 6 applications for the Ambassador Programme. So you may have heard about this from friends, colleagues, maybe you came across it on social media or our website. And I'm going to go through what the Ambassador Programme offers, why it's so useful perhaps for aspiring medics, current medics, and also what you can do within the programs. And we're going to hear from the president of the Ambassador Program shortly as well. His name is Innocent. He's with us today, and I'll introduce him to speak shortly as well in terms of what is on offer for the ambassadors. Right, so I think we've got about half an hour for this. So this is going to finish around about 8 o'clock. And we'll make a start because there's quite a lot of information to get through, but more importantly, we'll go through how you can apply for the program. So a couple of key things that we're going to cover. We're going to cover who we are as an organization, who we're looking for to join the Ambassador Program, the benefits to you. So there are specific benefits if you're a doctor, aspiring doctor, or looking to go into medicine. What is required in terms of the candidates, and how do you actually apply? So we've already onboarded 5 batches over the last 2 years so far. The Ambassador Program's about 80 strong across, I think, at least 15 different countries, and it's getting bigger and bigger every year. And it's very, very exciting because there's so many different projects you can get involved with. So who are we? Who is iMedics? So essentially, we're an online medical education company. And we are founded by 2 GPs, myself and Dr. Sandhu, and we're based in the UK. Myself and Dr. Sandhu are both part of the NHS England Clinical Entrepreneur Programme, and that's for doctors who have a new idea, a new innovation that they want to bring into the healthcare space. And in return, we get mentoring and advice and guidance from businesses like Google, IBM, and Amazon, for example. Mentors within those organizations can give us advice on key areas that we're struggling with, and also we get to network within the National Health Service across lots of different areas, including for example doctors, staffing, technology, and so on and so forth. As an organization to date, we've educated over 20,000 doctors. We also help GCSE A-level students get into medical school. We help medical students, and I'll expand on that shortly as well. And we're educating about 900 doctors each and every month. Right, so what are our goals in terms of an organization? What is it that we do in terms of the medical education that we provide? The key thing that we do, and if you speak to friends or colleagues, and this is the thing that I hope that they would say, is that we provide free exam question banks for UK medical exams. So some of you will recognize some of these exams, the UCAT, the PLAB, the MSRA, the AKT exam. We've also got the MRCP Part 1 exam. We've got free questions for it on our website. And we're one of the only organizations, I think, in the country, if not the world, for UK-based exams that provides free content for exam question banks. And we also keep all our questions up to date with the latest medical guidelines. And our question banks usually have at least a few thousand questions within them. And so it's a massive thing we've done. It's taken me and Dr. Sandhu at least 5 years, the good part of 5 years, to do that. And each year we're continuing to add lots of extra additional exam question banks. For example, this year we added on the MR Psych Part 1 question bank, the Part A, sorry, the MRCP Part 1 question bank we also made free over the last 12 months. And very soon we're going to be releasing an emergency medicine free exam question bank. And so that's what really our main focus is as an organization. You can go onto the website, you can subscribe to any one of those free question banks. If you go onto your phone, they'll look something like this. You get the question, the stem, so to speak, which is what the question is based off. And then you have the options. And then once you select an option, it then gives you feedback on the question itself. And that's super, super useful. We have a scoring system in place, which allows you to track your scoring metrics, which topic areas you're doing well at, which ones you're not doing well at. We've got a gamification feature within these question banks, so you can actually play against a friend who's perhaps doing UCAT or PLAB or AKT, and you can see how you're ranking within a table and compete against each other. So the more questions you get right, the higher your score. And we have tables for the top 20, for example, students or doctors for that product, UCAT, MSRA, AKT. And we also have ranking tables which show where you are in the entire database. So are you at the bottom, or are you the 50th position, or are you 1,200th in terms of position? Unfortunately, we don't have an iMedics app. We are an organization that is self-funded. We do have a GoFundMe page. So we're always looking to obviously make the questions better, bring new question banks to the website. The website is going through a refresh over the next few months. So in about August, September time, you'll see a brand spanking new website, which will look a lot more cleaner and modern. And then if we do have the funds at some point, we'd like to release an app, but that's something that's probably going to be done way in the future. We've got a search feature in our question banks, which is probably not found in most other question banks. So you can type into our search box in the question banks specific keywords like diabetes, hypertension, and the exam question bank system will actually pull out all those questions for you. And that's very powerful. We've got over, I think it's 4,000 topics that you can search for. So let's say you want to search for let's say it's eczema or hay fever treatment or specific drug, warfarin. Our database will assist our system from the database will pull out all the questions relevant for that topic that you're looking for. And then our system, as you continue to answer questions, will continually update you on which areas you are finding the most difficult. So it'll always give you the top 10 topic areas, slight tongue twister there, in terms of the areas that you're weak on. And then within the system, you can click on these areas like antibiotics, macrolides, and all those questions will come out and you can answer them. And it's a super useful system for our doctors. And then again, I've touched on the scoring system. So our system tells you, our database, our free question banks will tell you what you're doing well at in green, areas that you're potentially failing at in red, and those areas which you haven't tried in blue. So what are we in terms of a world first? We're a world's first in terms of free exam question banks. We're also one of the first in providing a gamification feature within exam question banks, because remember, revision can be boring at times. And we also have a very powerful search feature, which again is a world's first. And our AI intelligence algorithms continually update you on your weakness topics. There are other things that we do. So we do mock exams, for example, for the AKT exam, for the PLAB 1 exam, for the MSRA exam. We have video courses, again, for things like UCAT and the AKT, the MSRA. We've got lots of different video courses for different specific exams that you might be sitting at various stages in your career. We offer coaching and podcasts as well. And there's some niche things that we do. So we do visas, for example, if you're an international doctor looking to come to the UK. We can help with accounting. So if you have accounting needs as a fully qualified doctor. But one of the big things that we do is we also start to network. If you're a doctor, you're looking for work, whether you're a junior doctor, hospital doctor, GP, psychiatrist, surgeon, we can help you find jobs in your area that you might be interested in. So we've got WhatsApp groups for those. And those are definitely worth looking at on our website. So what are the benefits of joining Batch 6 and the Ambassador program? So there's a couple of benefits. I think the biggest benefit is the ability to network within our organization with not only myself and Dr. Sandhu, but all the doctors that we've got access to within the Ambassador program, which includes hospital doctors, GPs, psychiatry specialists, medical students, GCSE students, A-level students. We have ambassadors from a wide range of areas. And sometimes you might be at the beginning of your career and you may think to yourself, well, how do I get work experience, or how do I apply for my FY1 posts? And there'll be a doctor in our, or an ambassador within our program who'll be able to advise you. Or maybe you're stuck on a certain exam and you want advice on how to prepare for it, like the UCAT. We've got multiple ambassadors who have sat the UCAT, passed the UCAT, and got into medical school. And so it's an amazing way of networking. That's probably the biggest benefit of joining the program. But there are other things. You can, of course, if you become an ambassador, you can place it on your CV and your personal statement. That's like a standout feature when you're applying for jobs, applying for medical school. You do get 50% discount on all the products on the website. And that's courtesy of being an ambassador. There's yearly in-person get-together socials. So we had one last year in Leicester where all the ambassadors who could attend and our team went to a restaurant and we sat down and had something to eat. But also this year, the social is going to happen in July, August. And again, we're looking to go to a restaurant. The vice president's going to be there for the ambassador program. And some ambassadors who can attend, who are in the country, are going to be there as well. And our team, myself and Dr. Sandu, will also be there. And that's quite nice, considering the COVID lockdowns that have occurred over the last 2 years. Every month we do a developmental webinar. So we just had a webinar in the last hour and a half, and the developmental talk for that webinar was on stress, how to cope with stress, how to manage stress. And that was super, super useful for a lot of individuals going through exams. Also, we have the ability, we're doing this, we've slightly scaled this back because of financial constraints, but we try to provide a hoodie to all our ambassadors. That's usually 3 to 4 months in once you've engaged with the program. And then there's also the opportunity to either be a mentor or a mentee. So you can get mentored by someone, a doctor essentially, or a medic from within the ambassador program. You're also the first to know about any new features that come out. You're usually, along with a hoodie, given an ambassador pass. So it's a photo ID card. And you can also take part in special projects. And I think Innocent and Noor are here today. I'll get them onto the screen in a moment to speak a bit about the special projects like the podcasting that we do. You can join the podcasting, the blog writing, the social media team, the graphics design team, the debating society. We've got internal programs that we run, which you can take part in. This is what the hoodie looks like. I've got one line around here somewhere, but essentially it's embroidered logos for the iMedics brand at the front, back, and the sides. The company who makes the Chelsea Football Club and the airline Emirates uniforms and clothing also do our hoodies as well. So they're very, very high quality, and we do send them out when we can, when we've got the budget to do that. And some of our ambassadors have already got those hoodies. As I touched on, our ambassadors are dotted across about 13, 14 different countries. We've got ambassadors as far as Siberia, also in Kenya, Nigeria, India, Pakistan, Mauritius. We've got ambassadors in the Far East, Eastern Europe, the Middle East. And so it's truly an international ambassador program that we've built so far, and it's getting bigger and better as time goes on. So what are we looking for in terms of qualities? So there are a few things that are very key to being an iMedics ambassador. So it's a two-way process. You get to learn a lot, you get to network, we help you, but we also obviously want you to help the organization go forwards in its aspirations. So first of all, we're looking for ambassadors who are going to be on this journey with us career long. So what we mean by that is if you join with us as an A-level student, GCSE student, you're with us as a medical student, junior doctor, and then consultant. We're hoping you're going to be with us career long, and that's already starting to take place. Some of the ambassadors have now been with us for almost 2 to 3 years. Professionalism, we expect professionalism from our ambassadors. We expect you to sign a contract when you first join the program, and a lot of the key things in the contract are things taken from the guidelines for a GMC good doctor. So this professional behavior in public, not obviously getting into trouble with the police, for example, being professional and courteous on social media. These are all things that we look for. Someone who's enthusiastic. So if you're enthusiastic, you like getting involved with lots of different projects, you've got lots of good ideas, we'd love to hear from you, see you in the interview stage. And I'll come on to that shortly in terms of how you can apply. But the ambassadors have a number of different roles. So you can, of course, take part in all the special projects. They're very fun when they take place, especially the podcasting, for example, or the blog writing. And those can get published onto our social media channels, onto our website, and also onto like Spotify and Apple iTunes. But as an ambassador, you would answer queries on behalf of the organization for friends, colleagues, individuals you come across. You would generally promote the brand and what we do, which is the free exam question banks. Any emails that you have, which you might get from individuals wanting to ask us questions, you would forward on to our team, and you would assist with our social media in terms of liking and sharing on your social media handles, as well as perhaps encouraging or coming to us with new ideas, and we're always open to new ideas. We've had so many new ideas over the last few years. So how do you apply? There is a 3 or 4 step process to this. The first thing that you need to do if you want to be an iMedics ambassador is you need to send an email to us at info, and I'll include it in the chat, info-medics.co.uk. So you basically need to answer 3 questions to submit your application. So the first thing you need to answer is, why would you make a good iMedics ambassador? So what qualities do you have? What ideas do you have that you think you can bring to the program? Where you are in the country or the world, so UK, where you are in the UK, London, North, South, Leeds, Wales, Scotland, or where you are in the world. So you might be an international applicant. And then what stage of your career are you in? So GCSEs, A-levels, medical school, maybe you're a junior doctor, maybe you're a specialist, you're a GP or a consultant or a surgeon. And by answering those 3 questions, you'll be shortlisted onto our application process. And from there, then what happens is you're then invited, if you're shortlisted, onto our interview process. So there are 2 interviews that take place, one with the president and the vice presidents of the ambassador program, Innocent and Noor. If you're successful in that interview, you then go and have a further interview with myself and Dr. Sandhu, and I'll give Dr. Sandhu an opportunity to briefly say hello shortly. And then if you're successful in those 2 interviews, you're usually notified by email about being successful, and then you're onboarded about 3 to 4 weeks later. So I'm going to pause it there for a second. I'm going to give Dr. Sandhu an opportunity just to say hello and introduce himself. And then we're going to hear from Innocent, the president of the ambassador program, and also Noor, the vice president. And guys, just bear in mind, we've got another webinar at 8 p.m. So we've got about 10 minutes to do this, if this is okay.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much, Mo. So yeah, so just obviously welcome, and thank you for obviously attending this webinar on the ambassador program. It's certainly a very useful program. You know, lots of the current ambassadors, you'll hear from Noor and Innocent shortly, but I'm sure you'll find it useful. You probably recognise me, so I'm Dr. Sandhu. I'm the co-founder of iMedics. I've been a GP for 5 years, a doctor for 10 years, and I'm also part of NHS England's clinical entrepreneur program as well. Still working, so it's half the time in clinic, half the time managing the team at iMedics. It's a really good program. I think it's evolved rapidly over the last couple of years or so. From the first, we only had 6 initially. We had a very small group, but it has evolved. There's doctors, there's med students, there's lots of GCSE and A-level students as well. There's always someone who's ahead of you who you can go to for advice. And as you go up the program, you'll be offering advice and mentorship to people who are kind of going or following in your footsteps. So it's very useful. Make the most of it. There's obviously an interview process. We are looking for active ambassadors, people who actually genuinely will get involved in the program. If you're just there to have it on your CV, there's probably no point, because we want to have people who are genuinely engaging. And the ambassadors that we've got at the moment are really good. They make a massive contribution into pretty much all aspects of iMedics, from how the courses we offer to how the website looks to pretty much everything. So, and they get rewarded for that. There's lots of mentoring and lots of connections that they've developed at whatever stage they're at, which is opening doors for them. So make the most of it. And obviously with that, we'll hand over to Noor first, who's our vice president of the current ambassador program, and we'll take it from there.
Hi, I'm Noor. I'm an A-level student, second year A-level student, and I am basically the vice president of the iMedics Ambassador Program. My role is to oversee all the projects and initiate them and listen to your ideas for the program. If you have like anything additional to add, I can help you get it up and running.
Excellent. Thank you, Noor. So Noor is our vice president. She oversees most of the special projects, and you can always reach out to her with any comments, ideas, suggestions, feedback once you're part of the program. I'm going to introduce the president of the ambassador program, who's truly an international president. He's based in Nigeria. So without further ado, Innocent, if you can introduce yourself to everyone.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. DK Innocent, a 6th year medical student at the University of Ibadan, Nigeria. I serve as the president of iMedics Ambassadors. So basically, what I do is that I have like direct contacts with the ambassadors and also help ambassadors that want to get involved in making blog articles and also help in the mentorship program. So if you're interested in being a mentor or a mentee, so I'll help you get one. And also, I just want to say this a very good program, and over the years that like helped me practically develop professionally and personally. So if you are interested in building yourself, this is a program you want to like opt into. So Dr. Moore explained everything from the application process and everything iMedics offer, both as to the public and for the ambassadors. So if you're interested, it will be really, really nice for you to like apply. Thank you.
Excellent. Yes. And so that was Innocent, the president of the ambassador program. Two individuals who will be supporting you during your time with iMedics. And every year we have yearly elections. So if you're an ambassador who applies for Batch 6 and you get into the program and you want to be the president or the vice president in September, October later on this year, there'll be a further set of elections, and you'll have the opportunity also to perhaps take a more active role within the program itself. So what we're going to do for the last few minutes is just going to take any questions that you guys may have. Whilst you guys, you've got a chat box and a Q&A box as well, where you can type in questions. We've got a couple of minutes left. And then for those who couldn't attend, we'll forward them the recording to this link, and it'll also be available on YouTube. So is the meeting recorded? Yes. And yes, it'll be available on YouTube. So we'll forward the link to everyone within 24 hours with where you can find that link if you want to watch it back. The next question we've got is from Gabriella. Hi, Gabriella. How many people will be accepted onto the program? So it depends on merit. So if you apply in terms of the 3 questions, you get through the 2 interviews, and then we usually shortlist and select candidates who are suitable, who have demonstrated that they're going to be suitable for the program. And so usually for each batch, it varies anywhere between about 20 or 30 ambassadors that we bring on board. This year, we've had, I think, about 140 applicants who've expressed an interest. So out of the 140, there'll probably be 30 who are successful or so. Heaven, I hope that answers your question at the same time, because yours was very similar to Gabriella. We don't have a limit, but we tend to onboard about 30 to 40 per batch. And the batches open every 4 to 6 months, roughly. Ruth has a question. Do you only have to aspire to be a doctor to be a part of the program? The short answer is no. You ideally, if you want to be a part of the program, you want to be perhaps heading towards medical school or becoming a doctor. However, if you want to be a part of the program to network within iMedics, then that shouldn't be a problem, although there will be obviously questions asked about your motivation and your reasons during the interview stage. But if you're a non-medic, you can certainly apply. Let's see, we've got a few more questions. I'll try and take these. When is the due date for the application? Okay, right. So the applications will be live now for the next 2 to 3 weeks. My advice would be to get your answers in ASAP. So I'll probably right now, whilst you're on the webinar, email us at info@i-medics.co.uk, answer the 3 questions which are on the screen, which you can see, and you know your application submitted, and then our team will start getting in touch. So the deadline most likely will probably be middle to end of July, but get it done as soon as you can. So yeah, that same question again, deadline middle to end of July. So if you want a specific date, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're looking at the 10th of July in terms of the deadline for batch 6. For the first question out of the 3, how much would you recommend to write? So for the first question, you can write as much or as little as you want to try and get your point across. So if you feel like you've got a lot of reasons why you might be a good iMedics ambassador, then please put those across. You can also, if you want, attach your CV or a personal statement if you've drafted one, so we can read through that, give us a bit of background as to who you are. But the more you write, the better, because it gives us an idea of who you are as a person. And the last one is, can I become an iMedics ambassador even if I don't have social media to recommend to iMedics? The short answer is yes. Even if you don't have social media, you can still apply. There's lots of other projects you can get involved with, like blog writing, podcasting. There's lots of smaller projects which the vice president and president often might need a hand with, and you can get involved with those outside of social media. Can we make a video or presentation for the questions? Yes, that will certainly enhance your chances of getting into the program. If you want to make a short video, record it on your phone and then send it across either as a Dropbox link, attachment, or a Google Drive link. We'll be more than happy to assess those applications. That's not a problem. Right, guys, we're looking forward to the batch 6 applicants. We usually, as I said, get about 140 applicants each time, and we whittle them down to about 30 who get accepted onto the program. I can see there's lots of names here, which I may have seen before, but there's some new names here as well. So there's a few names I've seen from previous webinars that we've done. Magdalena, for example, stands out from the work experience webinar, but we're very excited to have new ambassadors on board. There's certainly a lot to get involved with. Certainly there's a lot to take from the program, and there'll be a lot of growth if you're looking for individual personalized growth as time goes on. So the recording will send out within 24 hours. Do send out your application as soon as you can. I wouldn't dilly-dally. So info@i-medics.co.uk. As soon as it's come across, our team will usually be in touch within 2 to 3 weeks. So give it till about the middle of July before you hear back from us. So don't be too worried if you don't hear back anything from us straight away. And we look forward for, of course, seeing most of you at the interview stage. So guys, thank you for attending today. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And for those of you who are joining us for the next webinar, the ENT Masterclass, we'll see you in 2 minutes.